All right, you guys, so today we're talking about powers, exponents, and bases. Our essential question is, how can we write repeated factors quickly, and what does it mean to evaluate an expression? So we're going to start with those three vocab terms that I just now said. So a power. What is a power? Okay. A power is a mathematical term for when you have a base or a number that is repeated multiple times. So a power is like when you have the same factor multiplied together and it is the product of that. So I'm going to write that, okay? So a power is the product of repeated factors. So when you take the factor and you multiply it a few times, okay? This time, I'm going to finish the three vocab terms before I show you an example because they have to work together in order for us to understand what all three of these words are. So the next vocab term is base. Now the base relates to the power. It is the repeated factor in an exponent or in a power, okay? So the power is the whole thing. The base is the thing that's being repeated. And then the final thing is the exponent, okay? And the exponent denotes or tells how many times that base number is being repeated. So, okay, now that I've defined all three of these vocab terms, we can do something a little bit nicer and show ourselves an example. So I'm going to do this in three different colors. You can do it in three different colors too if you have them. I think it'll be nice for you. Okay, so I've got 3. I've got 4. Okay. I've got an equal sign. Okay, and then I'm going to write 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Okay, so the base is the purple number. The base is the number that's being repeated, or the repeated factor in a power. This is the base. Base. The exponent is the red number. This is the number of times the factor is repeated. And you can tell that that's the number of times the factor is repeated because when I rewrote it, there were 4 3s. So that's the exponent. Okay? And then the power is just this whole expression, 3 to the 4th. That is called a power. It is the base along with the exponent. You cannot have a power without having both of those. So today we're going to talk about using powers to rewrite repeated factors. Okay? All right, so you'll notice that the first part of our essential question is how can we write repeated factors quickly? So our example 1 is about writing repeated factors as a power. So here's our first example. In example A, we have 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7. Okay? Now, you can write 7 out 5 times if you really, really want to. But the reason why mathematicians did this is because mathematicians are notoriously lazy. And they're lazy because they have to write big, giant, huge proofs about stuff. So if we can write things like math and like numbers in shorthand or in smaller like notation, then it saves us lots of paper and lots of space. So that's why we write things a little bit differently. So you could write 5 7s if you really want to, but as a mathematician, which we are in this class, we need to learn how to write things as exponents because that makes it smaller and it makes it easier for people to look at. So I'm going to use the same colors that I used up here. I'm going to start with the base. Which number is being multiplied multiple times? 7. 7 is the base. Okay. Which number or how many times is that number being multiplied? That's the exponent. It's being multiplied 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So this is 7 to the 5th power. Okay. So that's our first example. I'm going to start a new video in a minute and I'll do our second example.